Hello folks, I'm Ed Overstreet. Welcome to the Night Sky Imaging channel. And tonight, while the election midterms are playing out, I make you two promises. One, I'm not going to watch them. And two, I'm not going to talk politics. That is one thing that will never happen uh, from this side of the desk. So what I am going to do though, I'm going to play in my backyard. I have two telescopes up and running. One is on Jupiter, as in the past, and the other is still struggling. I'm struggling with this RASA to find the correct exposure, gain, and offset to resolve the Shark Nebula. And so far, I've had 5 nights at trying, and it's 5 Shark, and I'm 0. Yeah, I'm getting some data and some features of the shark, but it's nothing like what I am expecting. So let's go outside and see what's going on. And we are amongst the planet Jupiter, and I'm getting ready. In fact, I'm going to start right this very minute to start a series of close to 100 videos. Each will be 3,000 frames. I'll take a pause of 4 seconds between each of these frames in case I have to cancel. And hopefully if I get them all in, I will get the great red spot, which is right here, transiting the face of Jupiter, which should end its transit around midnight. And also the moon low, LO, will also be following the great red spot, and its low and its shadow will appear sometime around 10:30 or 11 o'clock. And I hope to still be here. I may not be live, but I plan to be imaging up to around actively involved in imaging up to around 1, and I plan to image with the other outfit, other rig, the LDN 1235, the Shark Nebula. I plan to image that all night. So let's start this sequence and begin. I'm going to take you over to WinJupos, and I'm going to click the Ephemerides, and just make the window a little bigger. And we'll click on real time, and it does show that we have the great red spot in a position now where I can image it. And as I advanced the clock 10 minutes at a time, and at this time, which will be about 10:49, low will be its transit across the moon, and I'll have both low and the great red spot. And then towards midnight, well, this is really let's see, about 11:50, yeah, close to midnight, we'll have low out here and its shadow. Actually, it'll be earlier than that. I had that figured earlier to be at a different time. So you have to take 3 hours off of this because this is universal time. So it'll be 11:49. So 11:49 around midnight, this great red spot will be on its way out, and I will also have the moon low and its shadow. So you can clearly see where the sun is relative to the moon, for the shadow to be here and the moon to be located there. So we got the sun kind of swiping Jupiter at its side there. I'm surprised that we have it illuminated as much as we do. So with that, let's go on over to the other. Oh, we didn't want to cancel. I don't know. I've got to figure out how to. I'm not a Windows man. I have to figure out how to fix that because it wants to crash or turn off. And I know that's something that I can figure out. I'm going to take the time and keep from happening. It's got to be some kind of a protect the battery, protect the computer from continuous online time. But anyway, not now. My RMS for the Shark is running in the 70s, high 70s, and I am staying with the ASI 183 one-shot color camera because I've already seen some really, really good Shark Nebula pictures on Astrobin taken with the ASI 83 on a RASA. And so that's what I'm doing. What puzzles me about this camera and this telescope, and I don't get it, is that my histogram shows that I'm filling up. This isn't a, well, I'll unstretch it. This isn't a stretch. This is, the brightness levels are almost clipping out, and that has to be coming from the stars. And so I can't take a longer exposure, or I will be clipping some of the detail and losing some, unsaturating my stars. So I can't raise the temperature. I can't raise the exposure levels higher than they are, and I'm at 120 seconds. But I'm not getting the dark nebula features of the Shark at nebulosity that I'm looking for at exposures under 120 seconds. I haven't even tried 120 seconds night at all. And unfortunately, even at 120 seconds, it has a mean of almost 15,000. That's nuts. I'm used to having a mean of between 1,200 and 2,500. So I'm totally lost on how to operate this telescope. And I guess everything that I've always known about, or thought I knew, obviously don't. I'm back to square one and trying to figure this one out. It's easy to take most deep sky images. The obvious targets are really easy to get because you can get by with 15, 20, 25, 30-second exposures. But these dark nebula, they're just a bear cat for me to figure out. So anyway, I'm determined, and I haven't given up. This is my 5th night with the RASA, and 6th night with the RASA. 6 nights. I'm 5-0 with being happy with my exposures. I even went ahead and processed the absolute best of my images from the past 5 nights at exposures 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 90 seconds, and even some 300 seconds were total waste. And I have combined them into one image, and using PixInsight, I've stacked them, and I get okay. I get the outline of the nebula, but the nebulosity that I'm seeing on Astrobin, I'm not getting it. And so, and I have the L Pro filter, and that might be that's the only thing I don't know yet. Um, I don't know. Well, I don't know what I don't know. I got a full moon, so I'm going to have to dumb down the sky with something, and this does a really good job of doing that. But I don't know. Anyway, I'm talking through my head because this is trial and error is what it's turning out to be. Uh, so let's go back to Jupiter, and I'm going to shut up and do some things and let you guys just watch the one of the most splendid items in the sky. And oh, it's so windy out right now. Uh, I was tempted to hold off until much later, but that great red spot's right where I want it. So I'm going, um, and we're going to get something before the night's over. ready to go. The great red spot's about right there. When you see Jupiter move like that, that is not guiding, that's the wind. We have a cold front coming in, and with that is some pretty wicked wind. That's going to be a problem all night. Live Imaging Jupiter and LDN 1235, the Shark Nebula. This is the 6th night of imaging the nebula. And we're getting a refocus. No, we're doing a meridian flip. I better stay with this. And make sure everything goes okay. Let's bring out the outside camera. And it's flipping right now. Trying to plate solve, taking an image, gonna see how close or how far away we are from being centered. Looks like the mount hasn't settled with that image. It's gonna probably show a fail. So I hope it takes another one. Oh God, it's cooling off my camera. I gotta start all over. And let's go back over. This has already parked the mount. I know the mount's parked. Try this again. Slew. To the target. Okay. While it's trying to center, let's make sure Jupiter's still I'm running too many computers at one time. When you see Jupiter jump like that, we've got some pretty wicked wind gusts outside. I've picked up an echo somewhere here, and I'm not sure where. Trying to figure it out. Testing. Sound check, sound check. Sound check, sound check. If you guys are hearing an echo, let me know. I've got Jupiter. I've been imaging Jupiter since it's going on an hour. And what I'm doing is I am, let's go real time. I've got the red spot right here. I started when the red spot just made its appearance. And the moon low is going to be crossing the face of Jupiter as well tonight. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a good night for Jupiter if the clouds allow. I'm going to advance the time 10 minutes at a time. And so we're going to have both the great red spot and low at about 9:45, around 10 o'clock. Both of them will be visible, and then around midnight, let's see, it'll be 11 o'clock. The great red spot will be visible. The moon low and its shadow will be visible. So that's pretty cool. I like to be able to get that, and so that's the plan. And I've been imaging the Shark Nebula. Don't need to run it again. Let's go ahead and resume. I'm cooled to minus, I don't want to run in the sequence. Let's resume. Oh, what's going on here? Let me pay attention. Let's see, are we guiding? No, let's turn everything back on. Connect. That's the problem. All right, let's go back. It's going to run a dither, and that it's supposed to do, it's going to settle, and that it's supposed to do, and it's starting a exposure. I was earlier I was telling you guys about the difficulty I'm having with the RASA. I'm planning on taking 275 2-minute images of the Shark Nebula, but this is the 6th night that I have tried imaging. Now, there's only been 2 nights where I wasn't affected by clouds and had to stop. But that night I took 15-second, 30-second, and 45-second images. Keep in mind I'm on an f2 telescope and I'm shooting a one-shot color camera with an L Pro filter by Optolong. So I thought that would be, those 3 would resolve some dark nebula. But I got the color, the dark nebula color, and some fine definition, but it wasn't any of that nebulosity I was looking for. So I upped the exposure time. I even taken a few 300 seconds just to see if it's possible. And my mean, oh, this is good. My mean now is at a normal about 4,700. My mean was almost 60,000 at 300 seconds. That's just, there's no way, everything's saturated. Stars were saturated, everything was overexposed. So you can't do it. You just can't do it on a RASA. So, and I knew that, but then I'm looking on Astrobin and I'm seeing other people with the 183 camera, which is I'm using, and with the RASA, which I'm using, 8-inch RASA, getting terrific color nebulosity on the Shark, and they're taking like 180-second exposures. What I don't know is what filter they're using. I know it's a one-shot color camera. They may not be using any filter at all, but I don't know. I'm going to send the guy a email or a message. Well, there's no way to do that on Astrobin. I'll just respond to his image, and maybe he'll answer me to find out what kind of a filter, if any, that he used. But I have to use something. I got a full moon. Not only do I have a full moon, spooky stuff is going on because this is election night, and I refuse to watch it. I don't talk politics on this or any. My wife and I, my kids and I, my grandkids and I do, but beyond family, ain't gonna happen. And I'm sure not gonna watch it on television. So we are off and running, and we're getting some strong signal. We're back up to 16,000. That's crazy. A 16,945 mean. And let's see what my stars are. Watch right here as I sample. I'm going to go down to this star, and the maximum, I've already saturated this star at 2 minutes. So there's no color. There won't be any color. I can make color. Anybody can make color, but I don't need to see this. Let's just go ahead. Those are the 2 telescopes I'm using, but yeah, you can make your own color and fix insight and force stuff to happen, but it's just telling me that I'm not still exposing this thing right. So I don't know really what to do with it. I really don't. Uh, I can't figure it out. Now, easy targets like M45 or M31, those are easy because you can see your target. You can even make adjustments on the fly. But this dark nebula shows you nothing. And so you're just kind of whistling in the wind, or I am. And I really don't know enough about the optics exposure, and I guess because I have yet to get the right combination. And I don't know. I won't get 8 hours in. I'm going to have to knock this down to probably 250 images. That's 7.5 hours. And what time is it? It's 8. Yeah, I can get 7.5 hours of imaging time in. That's plenty. If I can't get something out of 7 hours of imaging, um, I don't know. I'm lost. Let's go watch New Jupiter. This thing's off and running. We just did a meridian flip, and that's why I had to babysit this to make sure that everything worked out okay. So let's head back over to Jupiter. You're going to see this thing jump around, and it's not a guiding problem. There's our great red spot. It's pretty visible. The seeing conditions are pretty good tonight. I'm not sure what they're supposed to be, but they're pretty good tonight. Yay. I'm moving windows around here that you guys can't see. Now we got it. That's wind. Oh, I've got some crazy sound issues going on here. That's nuts. Oh, I've got some crazy sound issues going on here. That's nuts. I'm going to lose my sound here in a minute. I'll be back. I'm going to lose my sound here in a minute. I'll be back. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. No, I still have it. Testing 1 2 3. No, I still have it. Huh. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. That's crazy. Testing 1 2 3. That's crazy. Currently taking 100 videos of Jupiter's great red spot as it transits the face of Jupiter. Also have low, the moon low that's going to be following it, and low shadow. The moon will be coming from this direction and will cross around 10 o'clock, 10 to 11 o'clock. That's the wind blowing. And with the other telescope, I'm imaging LDN 1235, the Shark Nebula, for the 6th night, still trying to get it right. I am going to get a decent image of this. So far, it's winning. great red spot is making its way across the face of Jupiter. It's right here now. The great red spot should finish its trip across the face sometime around close to 12 o'clock. And then following that will be the moon low. And this is the Ephemerades, and we'll give it a real time. So the moon's just getting ready to, it's moving this way. It's getting ready to strike the face of Jupiter. And then as we advance the time, right here, it's going to cast its shadow. So we'll have both the moon, the great red spot, and the shadow. And that will be at Universal Time 2:42, which is going to be 10:42 Eastern Standard Time. Pretty cool. I'm going to stop this video right after this. It gets. We're going to take a 3,000 frames, and I'm going to stop it and overexpose this and see if we can't see the moon. I waited too late. Well, we're going to have to wait on the next one. So we'll knock off another 3,000. Is the sound okay? Somebody let me know if the sound is acting up. I'm getting a wicked echo, that I cannot figure out. You see me clicking all kinds of things. That's what I'm trying to adjust the audio on the mic, on the road. It's one of those things where you need to reboot, but I don't want to reboot. I'll just deal with bad sound. I'm just wondering if the sound is working. Now I'm wondering if the chat is working. Too much technology for this old man. Okay. All right, we're going to cancel and pick up where we left off. And what I want to do is I want to run up the exposure some. I think I'm going to run up the gain and see if I can see the moon. There's low. So here's the moon, low. And it's getting ready to move across the surface. And so that's what we're waiting for, and that's in sync with the ephemeralities, which shows us. Let me back up to real time, and here's the moon low as it's right where it's supposed to be. These ephemeralities off of Wenju Post, it's a great planning tool. All the planets are available. You can go up to Programs, Celestial Body, and you can check any of them, and then they'll come up here and you can see what's going on. Okay, let's head back to the moon, and let's dumb it down. The gain back down to 35, and let's start back with our captures, and we'll just start. We don't need 100 of them, but why not? Good. And there's no echo, Darren? Okay. Well, it's just coming through to me, so I'll dumb that down as long as you guys aren't having to deal with it. These headphones are coming off. You may get echo now. You may get echo now. Yeah, you will. Yeah, I'll stack them, and I'll use I'll start out using a program called Castrator, and sounds awful, but we move over here to hang on just one second. I want to minimize the screen, and okay. Let me get rid of Wingy Post, and I'll bring up Castrator. And so I'll open one of these files, and let's just say it's this file. And this is a different computer, by the way, so I'm not on the one that's actually doing the imaging. That's outside. This is an inside computer. So I'll open this image, watch it crash. And so at this point, I want to resize this video so that it's, I keep this on about -5. -5 is a good place for this to be. There you go. But you can resize this crop and make it bigger or smaller. Well, I want to make it smaller. And it's going to go through all these videos, and it's going to crop them all and align them. And that gets rid of all this unnecessary background and large file size. So once I've done that, then I'll bring, and I've already done this set, and then I'll bring up AutoStacker, and I'll find that file. And this one's been ran in Castrator because it's got the prefix or the suffix CASTR, which tells me Castrator's already cropped it. And so I kind of scrubbed through this to see if there are some frames better. This is a video now, so I'm scrubbing through to see if there are some frames clearer than others. And I use my arrow key. That looks pretty good there. And then I make sure planet is selected, dynamic background, local, Laplace, and auto size, and now I run an analyze. And it's telling me that over 3/4 of my video frames, there's 3,005 frames. You can see that down here that was in this video file. I'm taking 3,000 frame video. So there's 3,000 separate images that when put together make a video. And out of that, I have this line right here. This line crosses the top 75% about, if this is 25, it's about 12%. So 12% of these video files are better than 75% of them. So these are in the top 25. So the top 12% are the top 25 as far as clarity and sharpness in the image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select 12%, and that's how many of these frames I'm going to keep. But before I do that, I'm going to click on, I got to set up some align points on the planet, and I'm going to use 48 and just place a grid automatically, and that's fine. I'm going to create I'll be creating a folder called 12, which means 12%, and I'm going to stack this. It's going to take it a minute or two. And it's going to take all of the files that I selected to keep, which are the top 25% of each of the frames, and it's going to stack them into a TIFF file, and it's done. And then I'm going to open up another program called RegiStacks, and I'm going to find the folder called 12, and here it is. I've got one picture in it. And I'm going to show the full image. And the first thing that I want to do is I want to flip it. And it's about 75 degrees off. And so I flipped it. And then I want to run a color balance and get the right color. I want to add a curve. I don't want a color mixer. I want to add a curve, so I'm going to bring up the gamma, and I'm going to let me reset this and then bring this up some. Too much. And then I'm going to add some wavelets. And I'm going to use, I'm going to be kind of aggressive, and I'll use something that I created in some time back. And so here we have Jupiter. I'm going to add a little more clarity to it. And so here we have Jupiter. And I'll select do all, and it'll process everything, and then I'll save it, and I'll add the suffix reg, which will tell me that I've ran this through RegiStacks. So the image has been run through Castrator, it's been run through AutoStackered, and now it's been run through RegiStacks. And so that's what it looks like. Then from there, usually I take it into Photoshop, and in Photoshop I'll add some more sharpness, some clarity. I'll take it into Camera Raw and make those adjustments. Work on the color balance and bring out more of the great red spots. Saturation, it's a lot oranger than this most of the time. So that's what I'll be doing. But that'll give you an idea, and you can batch do everything. I can load all of those images into Castrator. Once I'm done, I'll load all of them into Castrator and process them all at the same time. Then I'll bring them all into, I'll select all of them, bring them into AutoStacker and do all of those at the same time. Then I'll save all of these presets and then just batch process all of those at the same time. And because Jupiter rotates, it makes a complete rotation about every 9 hours. 9, 10, what is it, 10 hours, 12 hours? Where we take 24 hours to rotate Earth. I think it's around 9 hours, but at any rate, from just watching WinJuPost, you advance this 10 minutes, you can see the rotation of Jupiter. So when you stack, in order to get a better image, you're going to take several of these and stack those on top of each other. Well, you've had rotation, so you have to derotate those images, and I do that using a program called WinJuPost. And WinJuPost lets you take the images and derotate them. And you bring them in, you add your images, and we have 2 here we can bring in. I don't know how good they are. I usually bring in about 8 of them and just compile an image. And so there's 2 images that have been derotated, and in other words, the software accounts for the rotation mathematically, and it moves each of the images so that the most clarity is going to be right in the center, and then you're going to see it gets kind of fuzzier towards the outside, and that's because we're losing some data due to the rotation on both sides of Jupiter. But in the center, and that's where the eye goes when you're looking at a picture, this is where you should have your clarity and your definition. So that's kind of how it works. Tonight now, what I'm doing is I've taken already over 50 videos. In fact, let's go back outside. And while I'm out here, let's make sure this is all working well. PhD's guiding along. Ooh, guiding's not good. And it's the wind. We just got some bad wind, and this is a RASA, and it's like a sail outside. And so guiding's not going to be good tonight due to the wind. But let's go back over to Jupiter. So I'm going to stop this when it gets finished, and I'm going to recenter Jupiter because it's already drifted some in the last 3 hours. I want to get it back in the center. Make it easier on Castrator to align them all. So it's going to pause when we get to 3,000, and I'm going to cancel. All right, we're going to cancel, and I want to find out how many I've actually taken. So I'm going to bring up Explorer. Let me go down to, let's see, we're in the 8th. Oh, don't hang up on me. Oh, we're reconnecting. We got Wi-Fi problems. And this is with my laptop outside, which is about 60 yards away. So we're going to reopen Splashtop. I think we've connected. Yeah. All right. So let's Jupiter, and I want to go to type, and I'm going to type again. I want to get rid of all of these text files and CSV files for spreadsheets. I don't need them. And let's delete those. So I have 65 videos right now. Looking right here, I have 65 videos of Jupiter, and I'm going to want about 100, so I need another 35. I'll probably take another 50, and because I do want to get the moon as it comes over, but right now I want to recenter this, and I've forgotten which way moves the planet. It's been so long since I've done it. Let's try south. It's never intuitive. That isn't it. It's better. Oh, in fact, good. Goody, goody. Goody, goody, goody. Let's go back to PhD. Moved it so it's thinking I'm crazy. Let's disconnect. Let's reconnect. It's easy sometimes just to do that. Let's start looping. Let's select the guide star and let's start guiding again. Guiding just sends, if you're not familiar with guiding and the purpose of guiding, if you look at the telescopes that I have outside, let me go back out here. And if you look at, let's bring up my outside cameras. Oh, you're welcome. This is on Jupiter right now. And this telescope that sits on top of this bigger telescope, this is the one doing the imaging of Jupiter. And this is called a guide telescope, and there's a guide camera taking pictures. And the pictures that this is taking, I'm looking at those. Let me get rid of this now. And let's bring up PhD 2. And this is the pictures that it's taking. And it's found a star. That's what these crosshairs are doing. And if the mount moves either because of wind or imperfections in the cogs, the gears, backlash in the gears, if it moves, then this mount sends pulses. I mean, the software sends pulses to the mount to correct for it. And that's what you're seeing. All of this up and down are corrections being sent. The red line represents declination because the scope moves in declination, and the scope also moves in right ascension. And if it's properly polar aligned, there shouldn't be too much movement in declination. If it's precisely polar aligned, there wouldn't be any, only in right ascension. But it isn't, and it's hard to get precise polar alignment, as you're talking about within microns. So what happens is that the mount moves, or the star moves, and sometimes the star moves because of seeing conditions. When you see a star and it twinkles, well, it's moving to your eye. And so that movement leads one to think that the turbulence between your eye and the sky is having something to do with it, and it is. And that's what creates these poor seeing conditions. So when the star is actually moving, this software is trying to correct for that movement, and it's making after the effect, it can't anticipate, although there's algorithms built in here called hysteresis that is designed to help anticipate when it's going to make that next move and correct before it happens. Doesn't always work. But here's a big spike. This is almost 12 arc seconds, and that's wind. And then I have this blue correction line up here that's bringing it back. It sends a big pulse to it to bring it back. So here we have a run of some pretty good guiding, and I'll clear it. And good guiding's, it's not promised, and it doesn't make any difference really how much money one's invested in their, well, that's not correct. Mounts come in all kinds of price ranges, but the typical consumer grade mount is going to have guiding fluctuations from night to night to night. And it's not the mount's fault. Uh, it there can be some influences coming from the mount, and the mount can be the reason for bad guiding, but most of the time that's not the case. So most of the time the bad guiding is scene related. So don't even try to fix it. You can make adjustments down here to your right ascension aggression, your hysteresis, your minimum motion. You can go up here and run guiding assistant right here, and it will run a routine across the sky for 5 to 10 minutes, and it will make suggestions as what your settings should be, and those are sometimes good. It's a good idea to run that, but I just kind of go with the flow, and unless it's just horrific. If it's horrific, I'll shut it off. I don't have to guide. But a lot of times I'm doing so many things at one time, and I'm not just watching this, that I want to make sure if I'm over on the other telescope working with something on that telescope, I've left this alone for 10, 15, 20 minutes. I want to make sure I haven't lost my target and that it's still close to being in the center. So it keeps it in the center, provided I don't have a giant gust of wind that makes it take another position altogether that guiding can't correct. And so guiding just makes corrections from that new position going forward. And that's why I have to recenter it every now and then. So kind of yeah, it is doing pretty good considering the wind. And it'd almost be better if you had a steady wind. It's just coming and going. But we had temperatures close to 80 degrees today in Spartanburg, and it's going to be 40 degrees in a couple hours. So when you have a 40-degree drop in temperature, usually you're going to have some other issues in like wind, sometimes rain, but we've had great skies tonight as far as clarity. Looks good. The skies look good. And the moon is, what happened here? We're still previewing. Okay, I want to show you something. Right now, we haven't started taking any more images, which bugs me because I forgot what I was doing. So I want to go ahead, before I do that, I want to show you where, well, it's not possible because now the moon's already entered the face of Jupiter. So let's go ahead and just start taking some more. We want to take 45 more, and let's go. My plans, I meant to finish a thought I had a while ago. My plans and the reason for taking 100 images is that I'm going to make a movie that's going to be a GIF file that's going to show the great red spot transiting the face of the moon, and hopefully the moon low as it begins to follow it. I'll show you one that I did. What did I do with it? Let me see if I can find one that I did. Let me find a blank page and bring up let's see, it was last month, October, when I did it. Wow, what is going on with that drive? You're trying to do something, there's always okay, Jupiter time lapse. Okay, this is the great, okay. All right, here is open with, well, let's just, actually I won't be able to open it on this computer because this computer doesn't read GIF files for some strange reason. So I'm going to have to This is a Mac. I'll have to make this window a little bigger for you to see. I don't know if that's going to work or not, but there's a great red spot. And all I did was took a whole lot of, another 60 or 70, I think, went into this one. And I just put it into movie. And this shows the rotation of Jupiter. But what I don't have here is any moons. There weren't any moons crossing the face of Jupiter at that time. They don't always time out that well. So that's what I'm trying to do again tonight, and that's why I'm taking so bloody many. I've got 65, and I want to take them throughout the rest of the night. Not the rest of the night, until 11 o'clock, and at which time it will have pretty much disappeared. I think I gotta go back. I do this so much that I forget. All right, let's close this out. Let's close this out. Let's open up the Ephemeraids again, and let's get real time. So right now it's 9:48. Is that right? No, 8:48. Oh, that's right. We went to standard time. So 8:48, 9:48. So here's the moon, and Jupiter at 9:48 is going to leave us. So an hour, it's out of here. Hour and 10 minutes, hour and 20 minutes, it's all but gone. And then the moon is right here, and the moon's shadow is right here. So this is the moon. It's kind of hard to see, and let's boost it up. Too much. So here's the moon, and here's the moon shadow. Of course, the sun is coming from this direction, which is causing the shadow to be cast over here. But this will be at 3:08 UT. So this will be at 8 minutes after 12. So I'll be up doing it. I probably won't be live for. I'll be live for a little while longer, but I'll probably shut down the online this in a few minutes, and I got to go do some other things while this is imaging. I've got emails. I'm a sports photographer professionally, and while I've been doing this, I've been getting emails to send pictures to different places, and so I'm going to have to go offline for a while and answer those emails. So let's go back to Jupiter, and that's the other telescope that's working on the Shark Nebula. I've been working on that for 6 different nights, and I still haven't gotten what I'm looking for. I'm going to stay with it until I get it. And we're back to one of the more spectacular celestial bodies in the night sky, in my opinion anyway. This one in Saturn, you just can't beat it. Thank you, Darren. Yeah, it's beautiful. And this is an 8-inch telescope. Yeah, it's beautiful. And this is an 8-inch. There goes the telescope. Yeah, there goes the echo. I had to put these back on. Okay, yeah. So in another hour, the Great Red Spot will have moved off the face, or close to being off the face. I haven't been able to make out the moon yet, but I will be able to when I stack the images. This will be the moon LO, low. Low, low. I had my fingers crossed that election night would have clear skies so I could keep my mind occupied on something other than these elections. You do grow weary. Of the bickering and fighting and division. It's a shame. But we will not talk politics on this or any thing that I do socially. Sure is, Darren. But even watching people fish would be more entertaining. I tell you what I did the other day. I don't have a lot of time. I don't have time for television, and I just don't. and because I do a lot of sporting events, and most of them are at night. And when I am able and have clear skies, I'll arrange some of the sporting events I'm asked to do just so that I can stay home and image the night sky. And of course, I'm retired for the most part. I can do what I want. But uh, I got on YouTube videos. Um, I like to watch everybody but me. And I got on, I've never sailed before in my life. Yeah, I've been on a sailboat with someone who knew how, and we sailed up and down the Chesapeake from Tidewater to from Williamsburg to Baltimore. Uh, but other than that, uh, and I'm fascinated by it. And there are these people, women, men, young women, who are taking sailboats across the ocean, the Pacific, by themselves. There was a 62-year-old man that set out and went across the Pacific Ocean, and he GoPro the entire event. And I sat there and I was fascinated. I watched it for hours, and it's pretty interesting. There's the wind taking Jupiter for a ride. Now I want a sailboat, but at 78, that's not going to happen. Mama said that's not going to happen. Even Dad said that ain't going to happen. But you can still dream. Yeah, I know. But this one video that I watched, and because once you click on like one or two of those, then a lot of them start popping up. And this one guy, he spent a lot of time talking about the terminology, uh, what the jib is called, where the jib is and why it's called the jib, and the sheets and the shrouds and all the different names for different parts of the boat, the sails, the mast, and rudder, and how it all works. And he went into the cost, and I was surprised that you could get into sailing, uh, buying a boat, trailer, and that sort of thing as for. I was surprised what you could get into it for. But once you have it, then you're either going to have to pay to have it docked, and or there's a lot more cost to it than just the facility. I mean the rig. Yeah, there's some great stuff. There's some great selling videos. They get some real good stuff out of their GoPros. Sailing videos. Not selling. Hmm. Yeah, usually once you bite the bullet, you think you've spent all the money you're going to have to spend. Then you find out, well, then you're going to have this, and you're going to have that. And if you decide you're going to go to the Bahamas, then you have to get visas, and you get this and that and the paperwork. You're going to have COVID shots. You're going to have to pay a docking fee. And the next thing you know, you're broke. But you have a sailboat. There's this one couple, though, that built their sailboat, and they've chronicled that on YouTube. Young couple. It's a nice boat, beautiful. And they live on it, and they go everywhere. And and so I don't know how they can afford to do it. I guess they live off the land. Yeah, I'm not sure how that works. Um, I would find it kind of. I wouldn't think it could be much money that they make off of it, but I have no idea. I know I don't make any. I'm not. I don't care. That's not my motivation. I would like to have a lot of subscribers, just because, not because of monetizing this, because my working years are pretty much behind me. What I do sports photography wise is I just love it. I love sports photography. I like shooting high school, college, and professional football. I enjoy doing that. I like soccer's not one of my favorite sports to shoot, but I enjoy a lot more now than I used to. Basketball. I enjoy shooting basketball. The only basketball I'm doing is high school now. In fact, I'm not going to do any traveling. I'm just about. I'm at the point where if it's not something I can go to right away, I'm not going to it. Hey, Richard, how you been? Have you had any clear skies? Good. You need to go live. Share your clear skies with the world. I don't know. I didn't know I was getting good white balance. I have LED lights and I have a green screen. You just pull it up if you want to use it. I hate using it. My wife says, please don't show your messy room. So I just turn all the lights off. It's just nothing but tripods, cameras, telescopes, spacers, laptops, another iMac, printers, lenses. It's just packed with stuff. It helps pass the time, Richard, if you got other people on that you can shoot the bull with. Oh, white balance. I got you. Um, Yeah, it depend. You get used to that. But I use Lightroom to process all of my pictures, and I'll white balance them in Lightroom, uh, and then I'll batch it to all the pictures. So that's a pretty easy process to do. But you're right. When you get to you don't have any problem doing white balance at a NFL or a college game. If it's a Clemson, if it's a Division One college, some of the smaller colleges like a Newberry Presbyterian, their stadium lights aren't any better than some of the good high school football fields. So you have to find a lot of them use mercury vapor lights, and they cycle 60 times a second. So you could theoretically, if you could take 60 frames a second, you could have a different hue for each picture. So the only way to combat that is to batch process, and I use Lightroom to do that. I'll take at a football game where I've been asked to take for, say, a newspaper. I'll take maybe 1,200, 13, 14, 1,500 pictures, and I'll have to, when I get back, I'll have to process all of them and upload them. Well, I don't upload all of them, but I process all of them, and so you learn to do it pretty quickly. Right now, I have cataloged close to 2 million pictures that come under the category of sports: basketball, soccer, lacrosse, tennis, swimming, uh, baseball, softball, say track, cross country, uh, and I think I've named pretty much most golf. So yeah, I do a lot of solar imaging when I can. Uh, it's probably the thing about the sun that makes it so unique is that you never know what's going to happen when you're imaging the sun. With Jupiter, it's pretty predictable. Yeah, an asteroid could collide with it, like the uh, what was the something Levy? Um, what was that? Two, 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 two. Oh, back in the mid '90s. But the sun's different. You could be imaging the sun, and all of a sudden you have a flare going up a couple 100,000 miles in the sky. And yeah, that's at 1994. So I've spent a lot of time in Lightroom. And the hard drives are, I went through two Drobos, and I've had different systems where I tried to get smart about storage, and but when you buy terabytes at the rate of 18 terabyte hard drives, and the file sizes are fairly large depending on the cameras you're using, but most cameras are taking at least a 35 megapixel image, so takes a good bit of space. But I have them filled up and backed up. But I can go back and show pictures of kids that I took in high school that are playing in the NFL and NBA, college, college football, college baseball, college whatever, and The Carolina Panthers, I think I've just about had every Carolina Panther football player. I used to do their headshots. The scene's pretty good, the win isn't. And that is what I'm up against. But the software auto stacker will straighten it all out. And Castrator, those two software programs, Castrator really helps auto stacker. After you've ran Castrator, all the videos have been aligned. So when they run auto stacker, it stacks all of the videos, all the frames in the video into a TIFF image. Let me go see where the ephemerity shows the great red spot. So it's right here, and there's the moon low right here. And in a little bit, we're going to see the shadow. Let's see what our other telescope is doing. I hope it hadn't crashed. I am so frustrated with trying to get the exposure right on this RASA. Richard, since you've been on last, I've been using an 8-inch RASA with a 183 one-shot color camera, and I want to show you an image that I took of, let me find it here, of M45. By the way, this is what I'm doing tonight. I'm trying to create another GIF movie of the Great Red Spot. The Great Red Spot, but let me go back to the 183 Pleiades. This is blowing my mind. This is a 15-second exposure. Isn't that amazing? Look, this is crazy. And I was having a hard time figuring out how this f2 telescope, how to use it. I don't know how to use it. It's got me stumped. This is a total, I took 60 15-second images. That's 15 minutes of total exposure time on M45. Isn't that wild? That's just nuts. So I don't know. I really don't know how to use it. And I'm taking Shark Nebula right now. And I'm taking 2-minute exposures. So they're 120 seconds. And I've taken 62 so far. My goal tonight is to take 250. I've got 6 hours of imaging time left. And I'm hoping that I'm able to get the Shark, the LDN. It's a dark nebula, and they're hard for me to get with one-shot color cameras. I don't know if I could get it with a mono camera. Evidently, I'm struggling. But at 2 minutes, my mean ADU is 15,628. That's just wild. As I'm saturating stars, if you look at the sampling, and if I go down here to let's find the star right here, I'll hover over that and look at the maximum. It's blown out. It's saturated 65,000 ADU. So, but if I don't have at least a 2-minute exposure, I won't be able to pull the dark nebula out and get the nebulosity around the shark. Because I've already tried 15-second, 30-second, 45-second, 60-second, 90-second exposures. And it's not enough. Over a 6-day period, over 6 clear sky night period, I'm going to get it. I can get the shark, but the nebulosity that's everybody else is getting, I'm not getting it. And if I can't get it with the RASA, I don't know how. I'm just lost. So, at any rate, that's what's out there right now, Darren. So there's the RASA, and that's the edge, 8-inch on Jupiter. Let's go back to Jupiter and see if it's still in the center. Yeah, doing good. It's time for coffee. I'm back. Coffee, coffee. Oh, the wine. I've never drank. I've never been a drinker. High school, I mean college. Only time I smoked was college. And that was when I was in athletics. I've just never found a drink that I can honestly say tastes good. Coffee. And if I want that buzz feeling, I can just turn around in circles about 15 times real quick. I can keep going and get sick. And that's free. I've got better clarity than you guys are going to get on YouTube, and I still can't see the moon, but I know it's there. The moon that's on Jupiter. It is there, though. And I went outside just to check the wind when I went and got coffee. And I thought it had all but quieted down and got hit with a gust. It's a long way. 9 remaining. No, I can't see it. I'm back. That was my son calling me, giving me an update on my granddaughter's soccer score. My grandkids are much more important than this. time more to go, and I will have 100 videos showing the transit of the Great Red Spot. And let's do real time. This is where the Great Red Spot is right now, and here's where the moon low is right now, and this is where the moon shadow is right now. So this is a real time image of Jupiter. And we go back out and look at this. This is the Great Red Spot right here, and the wind is just kicking up. I can now see the moon shadow. It's faint, but I can see it. And so the moon has to be, it'll be small, but hopefully when I stack these, I'll be able to pull it out. Hopefully. It's right to the right of center. So it's right about there. Yeah, the shadow's coming in and out, but it's right there. Ion, yeah. No, this is low. We have an ion, but this one is low, LO. We have a low too. Let's see if, yeah, I don't know if you can make it out, but it's LO. But there is an ion out here somewhere. We'll just keep spinning it some point in time. It's way out there too, so alright, this is Europa and Ganymede, and here comes low again. Darren, are you saying low is pronounced ion? It may be. I was thinking there's Callisto. I was thinking there was an ion. Here comes low again. Okay, well I didn't know that. Thanks for that heads up. I did not realize that. I don't know how they get ion out of low. LO, but well, thank you, thank you. You the man, Darren. Yes, sir. Did not realize that. I need you guys to keep me from making these boo-boos. I was thinking though there was an too big. Got Darren's. Takes too much space. Uh, just have to read the chat. Okay, it has drifted down too far. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this at the end of this and reposition Jupiter. Capture. Now, so let's, oh, it's already completed. Don't need to stop it. All right, let's stop guiding. And it already had stopped. Well, actually, I got a connection fail. Oh, let's turn the power back on. Now let's turn. Let's make sure we have it parked. Nah, we're good. Let's get this over here and out of the way. Let's clear. Let's start guiding. No, let's don't start guiding. Let's reposition. Okay, I think we got to go east and south. And let's go down here and grab and start guiding again. Now we want to get the moon. Let's take a few more captures. Let's take another 30. Okay, yeah, you can clearly see the, well, I don't know how clear it is. I can clearly see the moon shadow from low for Ion. That was the wind. That was a gust of wind. I better go over and check the other telescope, make sure it hadn't crashed. Nope. The signal's still pretty overly saturated. The histogram's probably, yeah, you can see there's some clipping. I'm not too worried about that. I'm hoping in this is the dark nebula, so I'm going to roughly process it sometime tomorrow. if I'm able to image the rest of the night. And so far, I've taken 76 2-minute images, and I have a goal of 250. It's 10 o'clock, so I'll have 10, 11, 12. I'll have 4 hours. So it'll stop around 4:30, quarter to 5. So I got plenty of night left to get 250 images. It is a good program. Um, I used the APT for a while. I used backyard EOS for Nikon for a while. That was when I was using a lot of DSLRs to image. Yeah, it does let me sleep at night. But yeah, I won't babysit this. It handles meridian flips like a champ. The only difficult part of this software, it looks kind of daunting at first, but you have to set your profiles up. And well, let me close this out. You go to Tools, Equipment, Profile Manager, and then these are the different profiles that I use or that I've entered so far. These are different cameras that I've entered in this particular program. So you add these profiles. This is the 1600 with the Stellarvue 70T. This is the ASI 1600 with the Newtonian. And you put in your camera information, your pixel size, width, and height. You don't have to enter your readout noise, but I happen to know what it's supposed to be. Your image scale, whether or not you want to cool down when the sequence starts, and whether you want to warm up when the sequence completes. And you select your camera, and then your filters, and then your focuser, and I use Moonlight focusers, and what exposure you're going to use when you run autofocus. And I use EQ ASCOM, EQ EQ mode for EQ ASCOM for my telescope. How to set up the meridian flip, and I like to flip about 12 minutes after it's past the meridian, so that it can plate solve without moving into the meridian and stalling on me. And then the different plate solving softwares that to use, I have set up Pinpoint, Plate Solve 2, AstronomyNet, and ASTAP, so any one of them works. And then auto guiding, you set it up for your for this profile, and then you call on the profile when you have that rig set up, and that's pretty much it. You can go down here if you wanted to frame a target, for example. I go to framing in Mosaic, and let's say I wanted to image M45. I just type in M45, fetch it, and it said fail. When you know it, that's fine. It does it all the time. It found it. So Usually it says it failed 3 or 4 times, so let me get rid of that. And then you take your box and it puts your image scale, and you can position how you want to image it. And so you can already see I've got the wrong camera combination in this profile to do it. Can't get it all in. And then you don't need to do anything else here unless you want to do a mosaic, and then you got to increase the tiles so that you can get it all in. And you create a sequence, and I want to pin the target, not replace the target. I don't want to rotate. And I click OK. It's created a new target. And so there it is, M45. And I click on M45, click on my planning tool, and it tells me right now that it's about 48 degrees. I'm looking at this. And it transits at 103. And then so if I started imaging it, I'd have 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours of imaging time. So yeah, it's good software. You can decide what you want to see. Because I have a focuser, I want to run auto-focusing routines. I want to see where the telescope is, RA and deckwise, and what the temperature of the camera is. Here's PhD. It's giving me a mini version of what's going on without having to go out here and look. So, and then I have environmental information, and it tells me what the temperature is, humidity, dew point, and wind speed. And that's not right. Well, it may be, but we do have our gust. So great software. And when I plate solve, this was the plate solve image. So anyway, there's M45 when we did frame him in mosaic. This gives me a running total of how many stars are in my image and the half flux radius, which isn't very good right now in this RASA. My half flux radius is is 5.10. That's really pretty poor. I'm used to getting under 1 second. Not 1 second, 1 arc second. Okay, let's go, not there, let's go here, here. Oh yeah, now we can see the shadow of the moon. Right there. Come on, wind. Right there. back and check something here. Let's see. Real time, we're right there. And that's right. So the moon is right next to the red spot. And that's so it's now 5 hours off, not 4 hours. So this will be an hour from now. Low will be out in low ion. I'm gonna have a hard time getting that down, Darren. Still looks like low to me. Ion is going to be, that's a good place. That'll be at 351 or 1151. It's going to be in a perfect place for the moon, the shadow, but no great red spot. So let's see, let's go back. There's 3 of, there it is. So I've got that now, so, and that's 10:01, so that's really right now. But we're just about ready to say goodbye to the red spot, so we've lost communication with the power box. I got to get a new cable for my power cable. Been having Pegasus issues. Okay, now I gotta I'm gonna go ahead and stop this and cancel. Bring up, and we need to go down a little bit, bring up PhD, connect it, get rid of that, we know we can't find it, start guiding again. Okay, and let's get back and let's start capturing, and we'll do 10 more. You can't go to sleep. I can't go to sleep doing planetary imaging. I have to stay up with it, babysit it. But I can easily go to sleep on deep space, and this behaves itself. Ho-ho. Let's put this aside here. You can't see any of this dark nebula with any kind of a stretch. All you see is the grid, the barometrics, this grid. Checkerboard. Uh, it does keep it centered, but I rarely ever image um, a planet like I am tonight, and it's because I want to do the GIF video. So I'm going to take all of those videos, process them, and make a movie out of the Great Red Spot. Well, we lost it again. It may not turn on. I'm just going to cancel that. Tell you what I'm going to do, if I can. I'm going to go ahead and park this. Let's see if I got power. I don't think I can park it without. Now let's bring us back up. Okay, power's back on. And let's get our outside camera to make sure it does park. And we'll watch it. So let's connect. Look how far past the meridian we've shot Jupiter. But I'm done. And let's bring up our camera again. And here it comes. Outside camera. And I'm going to end it for maybe might go ahead and take a look at the moon. Let's see. It's just going to be one great big bright light because of the it's a full moon. There won't be much to see. Let's bring up oh, I know the telescope disconnected. Let's connect the telescope. Connect. And so we're connected. And let me check something here real quick. We're parked. We need to unpark it. And so there's the moon. Let's go ahead and slew there. And so we're there. We're headed there. And there it goes. And let's start, connect everything, start looping, and there's the moon. Let's drop this down to 1/10 of a second. There she be. Let's bring it up a little bit. Let's change this to guide speed 2. And okay, that ought to be smack dab in the middle of, and it is. So we're hot. Let's bring down our gain. And let's bring down our And let's increase our region. Oh, I didn't mean to capture anything. Stop, stop, stop. Now let's increase our, okay, now we are on the moon, so let's go so we can find a part of the moon. Huh. I need to work on focus. Let me find, actually, let's go to the other side. Have a better chance of seeing a shadow, I think. Or some, crap, nah. Let's go the other way. There really ain't anything you can focus on. When you got a full moon and you have the craters just don't, we can sleep now, have any definition to them when the light of the sun is flush on the face of the moon. Ah, here we go. Maybe we can improve focus. Let's bring up my focuser and let's try going wrong way. I have lost it may not be doing any focusing. Let's try column 7. That ain't working. Column 3 is the mount. Have we disconnected again? Bet we have. Nope. The focuser's connected, so let's see if it's I've got the focuser set up here, so it isn't going to connect. Alright, let's try going out. See if that improves it. Now let's try going in. And you just can't focus on it. It's easier to focus on a planet. I can't focus on it. Alright, let's find something a little more remarkable. Here, that's good. Okay. Alright, let's see if we can improve focus here. That doesn't help. That is better there. Yeah. Well, poobah. I thought I had my focus on Jupiter. Oh, nuts. Was I way off? Temperatures dropped outside a good bit too, and that has an effect on these telescopes. All right, let's turn this back to let's just bring up this mount hand controller. Let's go the other way. Up. I'll take a picture of that. That's knock off about 1,000 frames. Done. Let's add a little light to it, and not much. Let's take another 1,000. Testing. I guess this is working. Yeah. And we're buffering files, so I have to let me bring this thing up. I've put so many on here. I've already saved all of these, so let's delete the triangulum. I got to move some things around here so I can see what I'm doing. All right, let's well, still got to get rid of that. Delete. The helix. I've moved all of these. This is an external small 1 terabyte hard drive that's attached to the telescopes. And I'm going to delete these. They've already been moved over to a hard drive inside, so I can make some room for and this will really clear up some space. But I just saved 130 AVI files. That takes a lot out of real estate. Okay, let's see how much we've freed up. Yeah, we freed up 821 gigabytes. So we'll put an end to the buffering. Okay, let's see what we need to move. To find something else to image here. And let's stop right there and knock off another 1,000 frame video file. Hey YT, how you doing? See you, Darren. We've got clouds tomorrow night, and then hurricane winds coming in from Nicole Thursday, and then Friday I've got a football game in Columbia, South Carolina, but I'm not going to go because it's supposed to pour down raining. The effects of Nicole. But Sunday night, let's see, Saturday night, Sunday night, and Monday night I'll probably be imaging. Let's knock off another 1,000. One way. And let's knock off another 1,000. Yeah. It would be cool. Or the American flag, or the golden arches of McDonald's. KFC. Well, I'm not going until they have fast food. I'm not going to eat that food in a bag. Liquid peas and liquid green beans and liquid roast beef. Just take me out of the astronaut program right now. Knock off 1,000. Still buffering. What I'm gonna have to do is tomorrow move all those images, which I plan to anyway, onto a hard drive inside and reformat it. And I'll stop that nonsense. No. Probably not. YT. Let's knock off another 1,000. I really haven't looked into it. It's a good question. Well, there's some large craters where there was some major asteroid impacts. This is about all we're going to really be able to get. The rest of the moon just has the sun hitting it flush, and there's just not any definition in the craters. It's gotten too bright now. Stopped working again. I'm going to have to change some cables tomorrow. Not much to see now. All right. Well, folks, I'm going to say goodnight. And catch you in the next couple of days when I go back live again. I hope everybody has good weather, good skies, and I hope the elections turn out in your favor, whoever you are and wherever you are. And if you're in the U.S., just pray for our country and that we make good decisions. With that being said, I'll catch you later.